the Widnes chairman. The line-up of the dancers providing the tunnel for the players to come out. Phil Larder on the right-hand side there, his first season as a club coach. And John Money in his fourth season at Central Park. And in chatting together, best of friends. A friendly final, great rivals on the field, but great friendships off it. Doesn't Jim Mills look very serious there on the right there, the Widnes chairman. Great player in his day, rough, tough customer. And Wigan. The moment all rugby league players cherish. Welcoming roar, the sound that all rugby league players like to hear, the step on this hallowed turf. Paul Hume, the Widnes skipper, some like Kurt Sorensen wait 20 years to step on this turf, and other youngsters like 17 years old Andrew Farrer play just 3 matches and then appear here. Studious Darren Wright and Jonathan Davis there, Frano Botica, Sean Edwards, his 8th appearance. Martin Dermott and Andy Platt, experienced forwards. And the introductions to the dignitaries. Presentation of the teams. The Right Honourable, the Earl of Derby, Dean Bell, experienced skipper, inspiration to this wonderful Wigan side. Many ex-Wigan players abroad there, like Brian Nordgren in New Zealand, Trevor Lake in South Africa, will be watching this broadcast, as I suppose will John Dorhay, the new Wigan coaches from next season up there in Newcastle in New South Wales. The Earl of Derby being greeted there by Jack Robinson, an antiques dealer who's really assembled a few bargains here. Dean Bell, the skipper. Stevie Hampson, young teenager. Jason Robinson, 18 years of age. Billy Wiz, as he's known after the comic figure. And the very experienced Joe Lydon. Andrew Farrer from Canterbury Bankstown in Australia. Martin O'Fire, last season's Lance Todd Trophy winner. The Wigan fans will be looking for a try or two from him, and a goal or two from that Kiwi, Frano Botica. Sean Edwards, the midfield man. Kelvin Skerritt. Martin Dermott and Andy Platt. Jenny Spets be looking for a few breaks out wide. The Earl of Derby, great knowledge of the game of rugby league. His family associated with rugby league for well over 60 years. And Sam Panaper at the end there, the Kiwi utility back. Ideal substitute, can play anywhere. And Andrew Farrell, 17 years of age. One of the under-18 academy players at Wigan. The skipper. And what a great occasion for that youngster. Across to Jim Mills, the Widnes chairman. Phil Larder a great feather in his cap in his first season as coach at Wembley. Paul Hume, loose forward, youngster, McCurry. Julian O'Neill, 12,000 miles from Brisbane. Brisbane Broncos, flew in this week, played earlier in the season for Widnes. And David Hume, Asini Faimalo, the Kiwi from the Upper Hutt Club in Wellington. Richie Ayres, Harvey Howard, the tough prop forward, and even tougher prop forward Kurt Sorensen. Little nugget as half-back Bobby Goulding. Good half-back combination, these two. And Jonathan Davis, pure pace and skill. David Myers here before with Wigan. And the two lads with injury doubts this week, Darren Wright and the big tall centre, Andy Courier. Possibly the Earl of Derby just asking how his disc trouble is. John Devereux, the powerful Welshman, and Stuart Spruce. And Jim Mills looks even more relaxed than the referee, the youngest in the history of Wembley, Russell Smith of Castleford, and the two-touch judges, Jackie Beach from Whitehaven and Ken Spencer from Middlewich. In a natty yellow colour. Bob Ashby just having a word with the two-touch judges. And Martin Edwards, the chairman of Manchester United, a very interested rugby league supporter. Of course, his club Old Trafford host the Premiership final playoffs at the end of the season. And he'll no doubt be looking for success in the Championship with his own club. Teams now to be introduced to the 78,000 crowd.
Let's meet the teams. We'll start with the cup holders, Wigan. At number 1, Steve Hampson.
Hampson happily recovered from a calf strain injury.
Number 2, Jason Robinson.
Robinson, one of the few Wigan players without a winner's medal. The youngster, 18 years of age.
Number 3, Joe Lydon.
And Joe Lydon, vastly experienced, scored in all 5 of his previous Challenge Cup appearances.
Number 4, Andrew Farrer.
And another experienced man, a winner's medal with Canterbury Bankstown in the grand final in Australia, looking for a double here this afternoon. Andrew Farrer.
Number 5, Martin Offiah.
Just listen to those cheers and the boos, depending where you come from. He warmed up with 5 tries against Warrington last weekend. Martin Offiah.
Number 6, Brano Botica.
World Rugby League's most prolific point scorer, Brano Botica, the ex-All Black.
Number 7, Sean Edwards.
His midfield partner, the bookmakers' favourite, 11-2 to win the Man of the Match award, Sean Edwards.
Number 8, Kelvin Skerritt.
Only had 40 minutes rugby in the past month. This warm day will test him, but a powerful Great Britain prop forward.
Number 9, Martin Dermott.
In his 4th consecutive final, played here for Great Britain as well.
Number 10, Andy Platt.
And a Great Britain skipper this year, a momentous season for Andy Platt.
Number 11, Dennis Betts.
Dennis Betts, Wembley, suits his pace, 65 tries in his short
Number
career
12,
with Wigan.
Phil Clark.
And Phil Clark, his partner, just 21 years of age and yet already 21 test caps.
Number 13, Dean Bell.
And the man they call Mean Dean in Wigan. Very hard, very tough loose forward. Inspirational skipper.
Number 14, Sam Panapa.
Sam Panapa, Kiwi test player, able to appear in the backs and the forwards.
And number 15, Andrew Farrell.
One very strong forward, 17 years of age. His fourth full outing in the Wigan colours.
And now let's meet the Widnes side, starting with number 1, Stuart Spruce.
And Stuart Spruce, battle to overcome a leg injury this week. Looks to be fit, looks
Number
fine,
2,
ready for the game.
Deborah.
The powerful Welshman, Widnes' top try scorer for the past 2 seasons. In fine
Number
form
3,
of the wing.
Andy Perrier.
Plenty of pace inside Deborah. Always capable of a long-distance try, Courier.
Number 4, Darren Wright.
Great Britain tourist 4 seasons ago. Cultured centre.
Number 5, David Myers.
2 tries in the semi-final with Leeds and an appearance here with Wigan.
Number 6, Jonathan Davies.
The big occasion player, Welsh skipper at both League and Union, looking for a big match.
Number 7, Bobby Goulding.
And the man to feed him around the base of that scrum. Twice a finalist here with Wigan, and still only 21.
Number 8, Kurt Sorensen.
And at the other end of the age scale, 37 years old Kurt Sorensen. Started as a 15-year-old.
Number 9,
his first ever appearance.
Paul Hume.
Paul Hume, 10 seasons at Norton Park, 250 appearances for
Number
Widnes.
10, Harvey Howard.
A rough, tough prop forward, but once a centre, once a wing, an extra yard of pace. Harvey Howard.
Number 11, Richard Ayres.
Richie Ayres, a local lad from the Widnes Tigers Club. Great Britain international second row.
Number 12, Esine Pimelo.
And a Kiwi second row, very, very fast, from the Upper Hutt Club in Wellington.
Number 13, David Hume.
And the only survivor from Widnes last Wembley dates, 1984, David Hume.
Number 14, Julian O'Neill.
And Wembley means something when you fly 12,000 miles from Brisbane, as this 19 years old lad has
number
done.
15,
Julian O'Neill.
Steve McCurry.
And a little nearer home from Cumbria, Steve McCurry. The stadium full to capacity now. The sun shining all morning, very warm down there, but just a light breeze has got up in the past half hour, and I think that will help, certainly help the players. Waiting for the referee, Russell Smith. The youngest ever referee here at Wembley, 29 years of age, an ex-Castleford and England schools player himself, Bradford Northern professional. And there we see the road to the final. Widnes having to have that replay there with Hull KR, but a wonderful win there against Leeds. Tougher semi-final for Wigan there against Bradford Northern. And what an escape for Wigan at that Halifax 18-19. And the 2 skippers, the 2 loose forwards. So far took, well, number 9 there, Paul Hume, was a loose forward, now a converted hooker. Once a scrum half, utility man, Dean Bell, once a centre, now a loose forward. Both like to lead from the front. Bell, very experienced here at Wembley, picked up the trophy last season. Only 2 years as a Grade 1 official, Mr. Russell Smith. Meteoric rise, but he knows this game inside out. An ex-professional player with Bradford Northern. Spectators mixing together the black and white of Widnes and the red and white of Wigan, and many other colours around here too. I've seen St Helens and Bradford Northern and Castleford and Hunslet down here, all sporting their favours. Widnes injuries in midweek to Devereux, Courier, Rout and Sorensen have cleared up, but the next bruising 80 minutes I think will test whether they've fully cleared up. Davidson, Goulding, I think the danger men. And the 1993 Silk Cup Challenge Cup final gets underway, and I think, Ross, this is the most testing time for Widnes, isn't it? This opening 10 minutes.
Yes, I think so. Wigan are renowned for coming out at Wembley and scoring 10 to 15 points in the first 12 minutes. So if Widnes can hold them now, I think we're in for a real good game. This side of Widnes, I think, is a strong one. It's got a lot of internationals in it, and I think it might be a different story today.
And a penalty there from Russell Smith. He wants a very quick play of the ball. Referees instructed this season to make sure the tackled player is allowed to get up quickly. There we see David Hume, and there's holding Robinson down. Wigan, strong pack, testing out this Widnes defence. Sean Edwards. Good tackle there by Essini Faimalo. Clark, although a lot of international stars bought in by this Wigan side, 5 ex-amateur Wigan St Patrick's players. A forward pass to Andy Platt. So it'll be a scrum down. Widnes head and ball.
Yes, here it is here, Ray. Andy Platt is offside, and the ball was held up, and he received the ball in a flat position.
So Goulding to Myers. Oh, that was a bad knock. Perhaps a little nerves there from Andy Courier, but one wonders what was Andy Courier doing so near to the ruck to the play of the ball there. Possibly better advised to leave it to the forward. So that gives a chance to Wigan. Widnes, the heavier pack, but Wigan with the ball. Botica. Fire coming in from the wing. A speciality of a move by Wigan. They like to bring a fire into the middle. Farah. Wigan's 18th Wembley appearance, won on 12 occasions here. And Mr. Smith already having strong words there with Kurt Sorensen and Rich Years.
Yes, here's Dennis Betts. He comes into a tackle of Richie here, who goes high, and he certainly should be penalised. Although it's a tough, hard game, he certainly can't go up above the shoulders.
A big occasion for this man, Kurt Sorensen, perhaps a little over-impetuous there. But referee Russell Smith having a word with the players, warning them. But the problem is, it puts Wigan on the attack. And this is the sort of attack that Widnes must withstand. Kelvin Skerritt. Botica to Platt. Wigan using these Great Britain prop forwards to good effect, but good tackling again there by Ayres and Hume and Faimalo. Botica, the switch. Bell. Oh, good ball. Good ball again to Edwards. They like to launch this 18 years old Robinson. Good sidestepper when he comes in midfield. But Wigan still on the attack. Betts. Good defence here by Widnes. The testing 10 minutes. One or two of the crowd looking for a forward pass there, but not according to Mr. Smith. Edwards to Botica. He's got some space out wide on this side. Oh, he's lost it. Botica trying to get the ball there to that youngster Jason Robinson, trying to put the pass around.
Yes, here comes Botica now. He heads towards the sideline. He's just going through that gap and the ball comes loose, goes forward, and Widnes get the ball on the turnover.
But that's the sort of pressure, Ross, that Widnes have got to withstand, isn't it?
Yes, this Wigan side, in this opening few minutes, are really moving the ball around. It's testing the Widnes defence. If it stands up now, I think we're in for one, Ray.
Widnes, their 12th cup final appearance, 7 times winners. Oh, and that looked a high tackle. And Richard down on the bench there.
Yes, it's a very, very warm afternoon, Ray, and of course it's also extremely humid. The official temperature at pitch level is 78 degrees Fahrenheit, that's about 48 degrees Celsius, and you wonder whether it might take a toll on some of the older players out there as time goes by. You think of Kurt Sorensen, maybe even on the Wigan side. You also think of Joe Lydon.
Yes, I think the two props, possibly Kurt Sorensen at 37 years of age, and possibly Kelvin Skerridge, who's a very fit young man, but has not had a lot of rugby this last few weeks. Well, here's one man determined to prove everyone wrong. Kurt Sorensen, former Kiwi Test player. Goulding to Harvey Howard. Good run by this man. Possibly one of the young players of the season, this lad, Harvey Howard. Was a wingman. Richie Ayres. Widnes, plenty of speed in his back division. Darren Wright. Widnes using the two centres around to play the ball, Ross.
Yes, I think the coach is aware of the heat out there, so he's bringing his centre men in early to take a bit of the pressure off his small forward, because they're going to have to do the work in defence.
Yeah, they do have a weight advantage, the Widnes pack. It's Goulding. That's a good kick. Hampson's underneath it. Oh, he's lost it. Well picked up by Myers. It's back to 1. Good run by David Myers, former Wigan player. Wigan's turn to defend. Not often we see this in the early stages at Wembley. Sorensen again, looking for a powerful game. Could be his last game in his career. Thinking of retiring. Goulding, good run by Goulding. To Richie Ayres, going to the line. He's over, yes! And Richie Ayres is over for the first try of the afternoon. It was a sharp, short, darting run by Bobby Goulding. And that extra yard of pace from Richie Ayres. The Great Britain second row just took him over there. He had to reach out, but they all count. He's 14th this season, his most important one. And it's 4 points to 0 for Widnes.
Yes, it's good work by Bobby Goulding here. He gets the ball, comes back to the blind side, steps inside the marker, goes in between two players, floats one out to Richie Ayres, who stops short of the line, but he hasn't grounded the ball, so his momentum and rolling over allows him a fair try. Here's Richie Ayres now, front on. You can see him, he's palmed off the winger. He's stopped his motion, but he rolls over and reaches across the line, which is a fair try. It's no double movement.
I think bears out what Gary Schofield was saying with Steve Ryder earlier on, Ross, that Widnes are trying to move this ball around and run this Wigan side about.
Yes, well, that's obvious why the centre's getting involved so early in the game. It's good to see Widnes come up with a try. We're so used to Wigan being in front at this stage, Ray.
The Welshman, Jonathan Davis. 2 or 3 coach loads of his friends came up this morning. The kick, oh, it looks a beauty from Davis. It's straight between the posts. Wonderful kick there from Jonathan Davis. The Welshman who scored over 1,000 points in just 3 years since his arrival in Rugby League. 6 points to 0 after only 8 minutes. And here we see, it's Goulding the man who makes the half break, and that extra burst of pace, then the strength of a second row. It's a try. David Hughes, knock on. And that's a bad knock on, isn't it, Ross? That allows Wigan back immediately.
Yes, that's a bad area. It's a costly mistake for Widnes. They needed to settle the ball for 6 tackles there and kick the ball downfield on the 6th, which would have put them back in Wigan's territory. But now Wigan have the ball, and they've got 6 tackles to even up the scoreline.
Potica. Lydon, good ball on the outside there to Hampson. Wigan moving this ball well. This has the idea of a spectacular final, I think. We've got enough backs on this field with pace and class. Botica and Edwards. That's a good one to Dennis Betts down this outside. He's got Robinson inside him. I think he's held up. He is held up. Good decision and good position there by referee Russell Smith. Notice how he was behind. And that's the advantage of being a referee at 29 years of age.
Yes, here comes Dennis Betts straight down the sideline. He uses the side really well, and he passes back inside to the winger, who heads for the line, puts it down, and because he's been held over, Ray, with the new rules, before the fifth tackle, Wigan get the head and feet.
So, Wigan still pressed, trailing 6 points to 0. Joe Lydon. 78 degrees down there, very warm for the players. To Clark, looks for the dummy, scrambles over. Widnes desperate in defence here. Goulding races in, but misses the man, gives the overlap. Botica to Skerritt, going for that line. He's got Spruce to stop him, and Skerritt is in. Kelvin Skerritt is in. It all started when Bobby Goulding raced in. He missed Edwards, the overlap was given, and poor Stuart Spruce really had no chance stopping this 17-stone prop forward. Kelvin Skerritt, and Wigan ripped back straight away. 6 points to 4.
Yes, it's the knock on earlier by Widnes has proved costly. You see Edwards here, he just stands around Bobby Goulding. Ball goes out into Botica. Botica sees a little gap. Skerritt goes through the hole, pushes away Courier, heads for the sideline. Spruce comes across. He's just too strong and powerful and goes over for a good front rower's try.
There we see the man, strong, hard, pounding, 17 stone. Spruce takes him high. He tries to wrap around the ball, but he's just not big enough or strong enough to hold a man like Skerritt. Good try and a timely reply from Wigan. So, Frano Botica, the league's most prolific point scorer, looking for one more goal to equal Fred Griffiths, Wigan's record of 176 in the season, and he does. Frano Botica possibly not aware of equaling the record, but he does. 1958-59 when the South African Fred Griffiths, possibly watching this now in Perth in Australia, and Frano Botica equals that record.
Yes, you can see Frano Botica holding a Skerritt, sees the gap, goes through it beautifully. Wright just is not strong enough to hold him up. Skerritt pins his ears back, heads for the line. Spruce, no match for him, and over he goes.
5 test caps to his credit, Kelvin Skerritt. Just 13 minutes gone and already 2 tries. And one wonders just what will happen as these players begin to tire us in the second half. The pace is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yes, it's a fast game, all right, but I think the importance for Widnes of winning this game will keep the adrenaline pumped up enough that they will go for the 80 minutes. Well, for Wigan, they've been here that many times, they've got the experience. I think they'll pace themselves for the distance.
Yes, as you say, Wigan's 6th Challenge Cup final in succession. Already beaten Halifax, St Helens twice, Warrington and Castleford. And stretching back a long time to 1987 when they were last defeated by Oldham. Edwards. John, I was just about to say John Devereux's first touch of the ball, the powerful Welshman. But a knock-on. Possibly a hint of nerves, but also the sun quite glaring here.
Yes, here comes the ball down. It's a very high kick by Edwards, and Devereux just took his eyes off at the last moment. And these are the mistakes Widnes can ill afford.
Crossing. Little misunderstanding there between the two centres, two big centres too. Joe Lydon And Andrew Farrer. And a good run. Well taken by Jonathan Davis. Spotted Wigan. What a sleep. David Myers. And Joe Lydon took a knock to the head there, attended to by David Fever. Assini Faimalo, known as Flymo to his friends, the way he hovers and moves across the grass. Davis. To Hume, looks for Richie Ayres. Widnes using Richie Ayres out wide here, but still pressing. The kick from Courier, and a good one. A good one. Switch kick from Andy Courier, keeps the pressure down here on Wigan. Good thinking there by the Great Britain centre. Referee Russell Smith talking to the players all the time. Edwards, great rivalry between Edwards and Goulding. Goulding signed by Wigan originally as a 16 years old, couldn't win his place. Good tackle by Davis. And I think, Richard, you have somebody down there of interest to us on the bench.
Yes, right on the Widnes bench with the double rugby international Paul Moriarty, who's out with a fractured arm. Paul, great start for Widnes, but Wigan are like that, they bite back so quickly, don't they?
Exactly, no, I think what we prepare ourselves for is a defensive kind of game. I think if we hold Wigan out, we know that we can score ourselves, so I think it's going to be crucial up till half time. I think if we can hold them out now, we're in with a much better chance, and obviously if we score again.
Very hot, very humid. Does it suit either side particularly?
Well, not really, they're two very good open footballing teams. The weather forecast said it was rain. I don't think we can see any of that today, so it all looks well for a good open game of rugby league.
Thanks, Paul.
One of Joe Lydon now back, and Paul Moriarty, one of 3 Welshmen in the Widnes squad. Nothing like the 13 Welshmen we had on this pitch back in 47 when Bradford made Leeds. Great history of Welshmen in this final. But Widnes now surging forward. Faimalo, the Kiwi, has the speed of a centre. This lad. Wigan with the advantage, but still the scores level. 6-each. Kurt Sorensen going for the line. Oh, he scores! He takes everybody by surprise. Kurt Sorensen, to the delight of those Widnes fans. He's dreamed for 22 years of appearing here at Wembley. He told me some days ago that he thought that dream had disappeared, having lost time and time again in semi-finals, and here he is with a try. What a start for this Kiwi.
Yes, he takes the ball here from a standing start, and it looks like he's just settling one down for a Widnes move. But Fred O'Body found him a little bit harder than that, and he crashes through him, then goes through Stevie Hampson, and goes for the try line like a little 20-year-old rather than a 37-year-old. Here he goes. This is a good little handoff. Just straight to Hampson, pushes him up as well. And he's got a little bit too much pace for the cover, and over he goes.
Well, is it a day for prop forwards? We've had Kelvin Skerritt charging through. Now Kurt Sorensen. And Jonathan Davis. Much easier kick in terms of distance, of course, than his first one, but no easy kicks here at Wembley. Any goal kicker will tell you that when there is a breeze out, as there is today, it swirls around and can carry that ball away from the posts. Davis then coming in to increase the lead. He does. Another 2 points for the Welshman. Widnes 12, Wigan 6. Just 18 minutes gone. And there we see Kurt Sorensen. When you think 22 years ago he started out as a 15-year-old, and he still has the power, the strength and the fitness to score at Wembley.
Well, I played a final against Kurt Sorensen when I was playing for Brisbane, and he was playing for Cronulla. And I didn't think I'd, 20-odd years later, be sitting in a commentary box still watching him play and performing like that.
And who's the fitter now, Ross?
I've got a bit of tummy that he hasn't got.
Widnes in possession. Good tackle there by Fanobotica. Spruce. And as we said, these Widnes backs giving the Widnes forwards a rest, taking the ball at the acting half-back position. Good run there by Paul Hume, the 5th tackle. To Goulding. Oh! Bobby Goulding was going through the motions of the kick before he'd even caught the ball. So the handover on the 5th tackle. Good run, O'Fire, his first real threat. Can he take Devereux outside? Puts the kick in. Put the ball into touch. And John Devereux pushes O'Fire. He disappears through the advertising hoardings. No love lost between those two competitors.
Yes, here it is here. Martin O'Fire puts a boot to the ball, and I think Devereux was in the motions of taking Martin O'Fire over the sideline as he kicked it. The referee has judged it to be a fair tackle and hasn't awarded a penalty, although Martin O'Fire is injured as he crashed through the awnings.
Martin O'Fire, 31 tries this season, had a lot of injuries though, a couple of shoulder problems, hamstring problems, but lethal finisher down that left wing. Here he is, the pace. Knew he couldn't get round Devereux, and straight through the hoardings. It's a rough game, is rugby league.
Yes, I think that just showed the pace that Devereux's got, because on most occasions Martin O'Fire would have had enough pace to go down that sideline.
John Devereux himself been injured this last week, suffering with shoulder bruising. That's a good run by David Hume. Hume, the only survivor from Widnes's '84 final, and John Money at the back there. The Wigan coach, Bobby Goulding. Tough, strong, nuggety scrum half. Harvey Howard. Again, another of the Widnes forwards with that extra yard of pace. Once a winger in his rugby union days. Faimalo, one who really can run. Had a season with Balmain in Australia, this lad from Western Samoa. To Davis. Beats Platt easily. And keeps the kick low. I think keeping the kick deliberately low, because Hampson, one of the finest catches of them all, would easily pick those off. Bell. To Betts. Needs this Wigan pack to gain the ascendancy in the middle. But good defence from Widnes. Dermot. Wigan again trying to get this ball out to O'Fire. No way through. Oh, well, Steve Hampson, a missed kick, Ross, but he managed to get hold of it, didn't he?
Well, the idea was to get to the other side of the defensive line, and he managed to do that okay, but it wasn't what he meant to do, I think.
Edwards. That's a good kick. Not going in though, but it keeps John Devereux penned down here, and he lost the ball for the second time, and here's a try! It's Dean Bell! He's going in! Oh, what a mistake! Wigan, the experts at picking up the mistakes. John Devereux just had to bring the ball away. Take the tackle. And Dean Bell says, thank you very much. I'll have the try. 15 this season. And Wigan back in the frame.
Yes, well, this is certainly one of the things that you dread in rugby league. Bringing your ball up when you're the last line defence, getting tackled very heavy, losing the ball. There's no one else, no other teammates there to give you a hand. And as we can see, over they go for a try. Dean Bell goes in probably for the simplest of tries he scored.
And I think we can see the quick thinking here of Martin O'Fire. Down goes Devereux, loses the ball. O'Fire picks it up. Looks inside, and tries on. Good support play from the skipper there, Dean Bell.
It's a nightmare start for Devereux. but we know he's a good footballer, and he's played at international level. He's still got another 60-odd minutes to pull himself out of it.
Really is a goal-kicking competition between this Kiwi, Van Obotica, and the Welshman Jonathan Davies, two of the best kickers in world rugby. Botica then. Ooh, it's just hovering, it's there! Just hovers over that crossbar, but they all count. 25 minutes gone, all square. Widnes 12, Wigan 12. Some superb rugby. Quality tries. And mistakes like this, Ross.
Yes, it's certainly Widnes are letting themselves down by their mistakes. See Martin Afire pick this loose ball up, and there's just no Widnes defence there because Devereaux was fielding a kick, and when you do that, you've got to make sure you do it in a safe way. You know, he should have just gone up there, taken the tackle as easy way, and give his team a chance to get back to form a line.
Former New Zealand Test skipper, Dean Bell. He'll be an interested observer when the Great Britain-New Zealand first Test match is here at Wembley on October the 16th. Edwards, Robinson. I wonder, Ross, sometimes, you know, are sides more wound up, more nervous when playing Wigan, and it causes mistakes like that?
Well, I think so. When you get an advantage on Wigan, 12 or 6 points in front of them, you tend to worry, how are we going to stop them from catching us? And it's in your mind all the time. Instead of getting on with the game, you're sort of half concentrating on what Wigan are doing, instead of concentrating on your own game.
Wigan's Edwards then. Sean Edwards trying to gain the midfield ascendancy, but Widnes playing a very, very narrow defence. Players crowded in the middle, forcing Wigan back inside. David Myers picked up a try for Wigan against St Helens in the Wembley of 91, and substitutes Julie O'Neill looks to be coming on the field. Darren Wright. Widnes moving this ball well now. David Hume. And there he is, the Brisbane Broncos lad, in sparkling try-scoring form in Australia. Davis. Oh, it's a chase again! Stuart Spruce is there. And Ross, there is a casual look about this Widnes side in possession, isn't there?
Well, they had plenty of time to kick that ball in, and Davis just sort of strolled up to the defence, and of course Wigan, being the professionals they are, they play football all the time. They don't relax at all, and I think Widnes are starting to suffer by it.
Myers. And the ball pushed away. Well, I think Wigan a little unfortunate there. Kelvin Skerritt protesting. I think the Widnes player lost the ball, but Mr. Smith, he's much nearer than we are. And of course, you cannot steal the ball in rugby league, so it's a penalty to Jonathan Davis. And
an interesting move, this one. Pomelo is coming off, and the Brisbane boys coming on.
And the scene by Marlow coming off. Julie O'Neill, the Brisbane Broncos youngster, coming on. O'Neill played 11 matches earlier this season, guesting for the Widnes side, scoring 4 tries. But I think you think that Phil Larder may be spelling his forwards a little in this heat.
Yes, I think so. This second half, as you mentioned earlier, Ray, is going to be a very testing time, and that Wigan pack is all internationals, so the Widnes boys have all got to be fresh and at their best all the time.
Widnes and Wigan contested the 84 final. Widnes beating Wigan by 19 points to 6 then. And Wigan's Joe Lydon picking up the 2 match-winning tries. Davis. To O'Neill. Good ball from O'Neill to Darren Wright. Davis again. Looking to bring Harvey Howard in. That's a good ball to Paul Hume. And the 5th tackle. Goulding looking for the kick. Can't get the kick in. He does. Had a good one too. Long and low from this little scrum half, Bobby Goulding. An 80,000 buy from Leeds, and already substitute Sam Panapa, the Kiwi, to come on. Pretty sure here that the two coaches, John Mooney and Phil Larder, using the players. It's a 15-man game with temperatures hovering around the 80s. You need to do that. And Joe Lydon coming up. Well, he took a heavy knock early on, Ross, didn't he?
Yes, when him and Andrew Farrar crossed, I think they also clashed heads in the tackle, and Lydon's been suffering since then. You'd see he's very slow getting around the field.
Robinson. Very strong upper body strength, this lad. Practices and works a lot on the weights. Former Hunslet Parkside amateur. Solid tackle on Belder from Darren Wright, and Andrew Farrar pushes right out of the way to get Offiah into the action. Can't get the ball away. Good cover back by Andy Courier. A smile from Offiah. Skerritt. Widnes moving in very, very quickly, causing Edwards to kick, to break the cover. Spruce will have to play it. He cannot be tackled behind that dead ball line, otherwise it's a dropout. Good defence. Phil Clark there in the scrum cap. Up very, very quickly. Myers. And I get the feeling already in this heat, Ross, one or two of these forwards beginning to lessen in pace.
Well, we're getting down to the third tackle in this set of 6, and the Widnes forwards are just coming back on side now. You saw the first 2 rucks taken up were taken by backs, and here we are on the 4th, still being taken by a back. So, yes, I think they are suffering. They'll be looking for the half-time break.
Just 8 minutes remaining in this first half. Widnes 12, Wigan 12. Goulding. Significantly putting all the kicks on Hampson along the floor, Ross.
Yes, if he's going to make a mistake, it's going to be picking it up from the ground.
And there was a chance. Steve Hampson shouts to Martin Offiah, and Martin, I think, knows that there was a chance. He was launched on the outside there. And here we see it.
Yeah, Hampson here, he makes a beautiful break after fielding a ball. He pushes off Sorensen, and he's in the clear. He gets to the fullback, passes the ball to Offiah, who loves to be in a position like that. They can't catch him, but he took his concentration away and lost the ball.
Jonathan Davis deciding to have a go. Plenty of handling errors from Widnes, and the crucial one, of course, from this man John Devereux that saw Dean Bell nip in for the try. Paul Hume coming away well at the acting half-back position. Goulding. Of course, this is the first Wembley Cup final we've seen played under the 10-metre rule, whereby the teams are 10 metres apart. That, again, I think, Ross, could have a big bearing in the second half.
Yes, I think the 10-metre yards, the 10-yard rule is one of the reasons why Phil Larder's got his back taking the ball up.
No goal. Good attempt there by Bobby Goulding. He's picked up one already this season. Just gives the side a psychological edge if they go over. Bell. Goulding, that's a good ball to Platt. Andy Platt's rewarded with the Great Britain captaincy this season. Phil Clark. And Richard on the bench. Edwards. Oh, he didn't see Framabotica on the inside of him. But it's a tackle, a high tackle. A high tackle by Paul Hume on Sean Edwards.
Yes, Edwards has made a good little break straight down the middle of the field. Hume comes in and takes him high. it was probably a little bit doubtful whether it deserved a penalty, but the referee has judged it to be high, and that's just the way it goes.
I think possibly not Paul Hume penalised, but possibly the intent of Bobby Goulding, who was coming in rather high. The referee seemed to have a word with him, but it's a kickable chance, I think, from Botica. And Richard there on the bench.
This way on the Wigan bench with Joe Lyde, and Joe, obviously very tiring. Widnes twice in front. They really mean business, don't they?
They do. You know, it's a very hot day, and it's two good teams out there. Very difficult to break both sides down, but you know, I think the crowd's getting some entertaining rugby.
Is the temperature going to take its toll in the end?
I think so at the end. You know, there's going to be some tired legs when it comes around to 80 minutes.
Thanks, Joe.
And Wigan, of course, have proceeded to the finals of every cup competition, so they have played more games than anybody. Whether that has a tiring effect, we'll see. Botica then. 39 metres from those posts.
It's interesting the way Botica lays the ball down. Even though he kicks around the corner and uses the side of his foot, most styles, when they kick like that, put the ball upright. But he lays it down like a conventional goal kicker.
Well, it's not laid correctly there. No goal for Botica. Let off there for Widnes. Good catch by David Myers. And still, Widnes 12, Wigan 12. 4 minutes remaining in this absorbing first half. 4 tries. Sampanapa. Sorensen. Still going strong. To Goulding. Howard. Oh, good tackle by Phil Clark. Over a good ball to Davis. Can't get away. Paul Hume did well, took advantage there of the Wigan cover, getting back slowly. David Myers. Widnes really opening this ball out, moving it well. Goulding. A fire.
Yeah, good kick. He's put the kick right down into the corners. He's making the Wigan side turn around. And as you can see, a 5-man tackle there. And the only one back to give him support is Andrew Farrar.
Of course, Martin O'Fire, a former teammate of these Widnes lads, 4 seasons with Widnes, when there was the league's top try scorer. Dermot, Skerritt. Both defences now tightened up in this last quarter. Platt. Edwards. Oh, that was... who's got it off the ball there? Tackle. It was against Jonathan Davis. He went into Sean Edwards rather high. But I think Sean Edwards will be okay. Touch judge, Mr. Spencer, spotted it. Referee Russell Smith just telling Jonathan Davis to hold off 10 or 15 yards, and here it is.
Yes, there it is. You can see he does come in late, and he has come in a little bit high. But Jonathan Davis would have to be one of the fairest and cleanest players on a football field, so it's a spur of the moment thing, but he's going to have to cop the penalty for it.
Just Mr. Smith getting confirmation there from the touch judge, Mr. Spencer. Sean Edwards happily recovered, and Davis told not to be a naughty Welshman again.
Well, the referee's made a mistake there, Ray. He should have given the penalty where the ball landed or where it was fielded by Widnes, and if he had have done that, Wigan would have been in a goal-kicking position.
So, Sampanapa driving in the substitute. Just 1 minute remaining now in this first half. Wigan looking to go into the lead. Calvin Skerritt, the try scorer. Widnes moving back. Just a little slower in defence now. Edwards looks for Betts, finds him. Probably Dennis Betts a little too close to play the ball to use his speed. Edwards, Clark, surging run from the loose forward. Widnes survived the 5 tackles. Can they survive the 6th? In the last minute of this half. Edwards, good grubber kick. Well picked up by Devereux. Well read by John Devereux.
Yes, that'll be good for his confidence. That was a hard ball to field, and he's picked it up and he got away with it and he took the tackle. So I think this second half probably will be Devereux's turn to show a bit of skill.
The penalty against Martin Dermott. Widnes just asking the referee how much longer, and the referee explaining, as if the Widnes player didn't know, that the time is now held by the 2 timekeepers. The referee, no control whatsoever. Harvey Howard. These sides met on 8 previous occasions in the Cup. Widnes having the upper hand, 5 wins to 3. But of course, all that's history. It's today that counts. Level pegging. O'Neill, good ball to Courier. Oh, if he could have launched Courier there, Ross.
Yes, he drew in the defence. He drew 2 players into him, and Courier saw the hole, went for it, but didn't quite hold his momentum.
Tommy Golding, he's got support on this outside to Darren Wright. Oh, he cuts back inside. O'Neill again, having a good impact. Is it too hard? It is. A little bit too hard there for number 5, David Myers, but a good intervention by this lad, Julian O'Neill. Into a minute of stoppage time. We did have that stoppage, of course, for Sean Edwards and Joe Lydon. Wigan content to play down this blind side. Dennis Betts. Edwards, good run by Edwards. Had a good ankle tap there by Harvey Howard. That was dangerous. Botica. The kick, the chase, Botica for it. Oh, well picked up by Spruce, but a knock on. But at least off his boot, says Stewart. But referee Russell Smith doesn't believe him.
Yes, here's Botica's kick. It's a good little kick. It's well weighted. It's in between the fullback and the back rowers. And just as Spruce get to it, Botica puts his foot to it and lets him knock on. But Spruce certainly showed a lot of ticker to go for that ball.
Into injury time in this first half now to Bell. Good tackle. Very good tackle by Jonathan Davis. Danger time for Widnes. Botica going through himself. Now, is it worth a drop goal from Wigan just to give them a little boost ahead of half-time? No. Calvin Skerritt. 3 tackles remaining in this sequence. Widnes looking to hold out. Edwards. Offside. Well, there is the hooter, but the kick must be taken, and I'm certain that Frana Botica will take it for goal. Andy Courier adjudged to be offside, but I think Courier realised that there was a big overlap on that left-hand side. He had to come in, he had to stop the attack, but he could have given 2 points away.
Yes, here it is now. You can see Courier just out there, the other side of Sean Edwards. He was well up in defence, and it was a good decision by the referee to pull him up. And a very game decision by the referee this late in the game as well.
Botica with the usual high mound of sand. And as Ross Strudwick was saying, rather unusual for a round-the-corner style kicker. There's the man who caused the penalty, Andy Courier. Rather unusual in that he faces the ball onto the post. But that style has been successful. It's made him one of the finest goal kickers, I think, in the history of the game. And the kick in injury time to put Wigan into the lead or not. Botica. It's there, the 2 points, the flags go high, Mr. Smith blows his whistle, and the Wigan supporters relax at the tunnel end. 14 points to 12 for Wigan, but Ross, an absorbing match so far, hasn't it been?
Yes, I think the second half just going to be as good as the first. They always judge whether a game's good enough by how quick the time goes. And it seems like we've only just sat down to watch this match, and it's half-time. And I think probably at this stage Wigan deserved their 14-12 lead. They're the ones that have made most of the running and probably been unlucky not to come up with several other tries with their backup.
Well, certainly both these sides very, very keen to keep the ball moving around, and I think that will have an effect in that second half. We look at that possession there, Ross. 14 minutes Widnes, 15 minutes Wigan. We couldn't have anything more even, could we?
No, it's been one of the closest games I've witnessed for a long time. Both sides are very keen to win. I think the only edge that Wigan have at this stage is when they make a break, they have 2 or 3 support players there. They've been unfortunate at this stage that they've been wrapped up in defence and they haven't been able to release the ball. But if that comes off in the second half, anything could happen.
Well, so much to enjoy and so much to discuss from that first half. We've been watching it in the company of not only Gary Schofield but also Alan Border, the captain of the Australian Cricket Tourists, has joined us for a few minutes as well. Your kind of game, your kind of occasion, Alan?
Oh, very much so. I'm a rugby league fan from Brisbane. Watch the Broncos out there, and it's just fantastic to be here at Wembley to take in this atmosphere and see rugby league played at its best here.
An outstanding game as well, isn't it?
It's been absolutely fantastic. Just the whole feeling about the whole event has been brilliant.
What sort of reputation do Wigan have worldwide and in Australia? How highly are they regarded?
Very highly regarded, and I mean their record speaks for itself over the last half dozen or so years. Gary probably be able to speak a bit more about that, but certainly it came to prominence, I think, over the last few years in particular with that the World Championship rugby contests.
Well, Gary, have they lived up to the billing today, Wigan? What do you make of that first half?
I think it's been sensational first half, and Widnes played it how maybe predicted that was going to throw the ball about a bit, and when Wigan look a little bit tired. So they're hanging in there. They'll be quite happy to go in 14-12. I think it's been a great game, and I'm sure we're going to be in for a lot more points in the second half.
And Widnes got what they wanted, which was, well, the early points on the board. Good try from Richie Ayres and good bit of refereeing.
It wasn't
a
good bit of refereeing in the end. I say Bobby Goulding, came from the, as we see it here now, Bobby Goulding does a switch with Paul Hume, the hooker, breaks the tackle there of Martin Dermott, goes across the field, lovely ball there to Richie Ayres, who breaks the tackle of Joe Lydon. As we can see, he just goes onto his back, but the ball doesn't touch the ground, and a good decision by the referee. It's his first appearance at Wembley, and that would have settled his nerves. And here again, Bobby, a beautiful ball there to Richie Ayres, breaks the tackle, and here we see there, and he just goes onto his back, no double movement, the ball didn't touch the ground. It was a fair try.
Yes, and that was followed by an outstanding conversion by Jonathan Davis, but then Wigan hit back immediately. Kelvin Skerritt.
It was the initial mistake from the kick-off, and I say nice movement there from Sean Edwards to Stefano Bodica, and I say Kelvin Skerritt is 17 stone, and if he's coming at you, then nobody's going to stop him. Stuart Spruce tried very vainly, but I say he was too big and powerful. I think Kelvin will be quite happy with the pace he's shown here too. I think he's only played one game in 4 weeks, so he'll be quite happy, to go for a good try.
Bottiger converted that. Good front row try that was, and similar example of that at the other end with Kurt Sorensen. Well, very popular scorer.
Very popular. You wouldn't think this fella is 37 and is retiring at the end of this match, and he just showed the power and strength there and the determination. He wants to win this one for Widnes, and it was all there in the great try he scored.
So that was Widnes ahead again, and it was helped by the Jonathan Davis conversion. But Sorensen, well, he'll savour this moment after waiting so long for a Wembley appearance.
He's waited plenty of times to go to Wembley. He's been in the game 20 years, and to make his Wembley debut and score the try, which put Widnes in the front again.
Within minutes of that, though, Widnes, John Devereux, a mistake.
It was a schoolboy mistake, really, and John's not had the best of its first start. He's got to put this behind him now, and I say spilt ball in the tackle. Good tackle, fair tackle by Andrew Farrer and Martin Afire, and the easiest try that Dean Bell scored, I'm sure, in his career.
And another Bottiger conversion followed that, but This will haunt John a bit.
I'm sure it will do, and you know, the intense pressure that Wigan do put on, when they do put the kicks into Widnes is 22, the chase is very good, and they just want to force that mistake, and as they've done there with John Devereux, and I say Dean Bell, that'll be the easiest try he's ever scored.
Super bit of quick thinking there by Martin O'Fara as well. Frano Botica with the kick just before half-time, giving Wigan the lead. Psychologically very important.
I think it's very important, but I think Phil Laird will be quite happy that, you know, Widnes still hanging in there, but you can just sense that Wigan just being patient, they're just doing the timing nicely, and Widnes, hopefully if they can keep in the game for the first 20 minutes in the second half, who knows, there could be a shock on the cards.
Wigan holding something in return.
Direction of Major Price, about to leave the field to a very good round of applause. And I think we have Ray Stubbs down there with Phil Larder.
Phil, what have you said to your Widnes team at half-time?
Well, I thought they played some quite good football. The major problem that we've had is that we've made one or too many basic handling errors. Unfortunately, we were making them early in the tackle count, and unfortunately we got penalised by Wigan. We've also got to spread a little bit better, particularly on the left-hand side of the defence.
I think in the second half, this tiredness is going to creep in. It's really going to be the survival of the fittest now.
Well, I think so. That was the reason why I brought Senny off. I thought Senny was having a big game, but our props are likely to blow up, so I've got to rest them throughout the game.
Everything to play for. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Well, good tactics there, as we thought, I think, Ross, from Phil Larder, spelling the forwards.
Well, I thought that was a very good interview by Phil Larder. It shows you what a professional he is. It's very tough for a coach who's behind in such a big game to be able to stand around and talk to a reporter or a commentator at that stage. So congratulations to him.
And he certainly knew what he was doing with Sorensen, Faimalo taking it in turns. 14 points to 12 then for Wigan, and I think we're in for a high score in second half as the players begin to tire, the sun begins to take its toll, and the gaps appear. Goulding. That's a good run by Hume to David Myers. Oh, just can't get away. Good tackle by the youngster Robinson. Good tackle. Very quick lad, this lad Myers. Wants to impress against Wigan. And Richard down there on the bench.
Yes, Ray, there are 77,684 people. That's the official attendance here at Wembley this afternoon. And if the match stays like this, so finely poised, there won't be a soul leaving early. Just one word about Kurt Sorensen, a word of encouragement for the Widnes supporters. Kurt Sorensen on the bench at the moment, but there's nothing particularly wrong with him. He's just being rested, and no doubt we'll go back into the action later.
And Assini Faimalo back on, as Phil Larder indicated. Farah. There is number 12, Faimalo. Good ball from Farah to Betts. Good run by Betts now then. Has Betts got the pace? No, the ankle tap again. But that's the glimpse of the speed, and there is Kurt Sorensen, the wet towel over his head, cooling down. But Wigan starting off. The pace, oh, it's a try! Wigan are in, Sam Panipert, the Kiwi combination. Guy Bell and Sam Panipert combine. Panipert's in. What a day for this Kiwi. 12 months ago, his contract was up at Central Park. He was on his way home to Auckland. A sudden change of heart by coach John Money, and Sam Panipert was snapped up again for another 12 months. And there's his reward.
Yes, you can see it here. We're going to come out very strong again this second half. Dean Bell busts through a tackle, releases that ball there, and Panapa's going over. And that was what I was talking about just before half-time. In the first half, Wigan were making these breaks, but the ball was being wrapped up. They would have wrapped Dean Bell up there, but being able to get it away like he did then, the support plays there, and Panapa goes over for a try.
Yes, Wigan have a habit of hitting aside hard after half-time. I saw them put 2 tries past Castleford in a championship game not a fortnight ago, just after half-time to clinch the championship. Are they doing the same here as Botica's goal sails through the posts, and he continues to write his name into the record books at Wigan for the most goals and the most points in a season. Wigan now suddenly moving away Just 3 minutes gone in the second half. 20 points to 12.
As you can see, Edwards take the ball across there. There's a hole for Bell to go through, and as he's wrapped up, he releases the ball to Panaba, who goes over for a well-deserved try because he has been playing well.
That's good support play by Sam Panaba. Widnes then with a lot to do now. What a difference that try and goal make. They have to hit back quickly. And John Morley a little more relaxed. Andy Platt never shirks the hard work and appetite for graft. Number 10, the Great Britain skipper, Andy Platt. Botica, good switch, good driving run. These two Wigan front rows, Skerritt and Platt, doing a lot of work, Ross.
Yes, they've certainly taken their share of the front up front. I think the Widnes front row is probably not getting through the amount of work that these two are, and it's certainly showing in their attack. They're making the yardage, they're drawing the Widnes players in, and it's sapping energy all the time.
And a kick to keep Widnes down in that 20-metre area. But of course, it's Widnes head and ball. Mr. Smith telling the Wigan side to get well away, and the battle, the Australian and the Englishman, a battle of wits. Mr. Smith shouting that he wants a good play the ball. Bobby Goulding shrieking at his forwards to get up there. And this is the time really where Widnes have got to show their mettle, Ross, haven't they? They have to hit back.
Yes, they've got to come up with a try in the next 5 or 10 minutes, because the longer it goes, the harder Wigan are going to be. We keep saying it repeatedly that what a professional side Wigan are, and it's games like this that the longer it goes, the stronger they get.
Goulding. That's a tester. For Robinson, it beats him. And the question is, did it catch his foot, and will it be head and ball for Widnes? No. Not according to the touch judge, Mr. Spencer. If the ball had touched Robinson's foot and gone into touch, then it would have been the Widnes head and ball on the attack. Every scrum, of course, gone with the head. Robinson coming to the stand-off position. Great Britain on the 21 player. Bell coming more and more into the game, Dean Bell, the skipper.
Yes, he's a very strong player, and he leads by example, and I've seen a lot in the past where Wigan have been in trouble, and Dean Bell will just pull something out of the box, and away it goes.
And just look at that surging run there by Phil Clark. Tremendous pace in this Wigan second row. Betts and Clark. Wigan moving it about, throwing everything at Widnes here. They want this game won in this opening 10 minutes of the second half. The Widnes hanging in here. Good ball from Edwards to Botica. He's lost it. And Davis is coming away. No, just couldn't get away. The gap closed. Good tackle by Sean Edwards. Myers. This is better from Widnes now. To Goulding. Well, it looks as if one or two of these Widnes forwards not quite up on the line there. The heat taking its toll. Darren Wright can't get the ball away. But Widnes moving, and that's a penalty. Now then, is it worth going for goal or putting it to the corners? Possibly, I think, worth going for goal at this stage, Ross.
Yes, I'd be going for goal. They're only 8 points out of it. They need to score twice, and whether it's a goal, 2 goals or 4 goals, they need to keep the score rolling.
And there we see Martin Dermott pushing Darren Wright down. So he is going for goal. I think a sensible decision, because of course Widnes trailing by that 8-point margin, 20 points to 12. What a good game this referee's having. He's non-stop talking to the players. He's giving them encouragement, he's congratulating them, and he's having a word remonstrating with them when necessary. First-class match. Davis then, 30 metres out, in front of the post. It's a goal. Simple task for a kicker of Davis's quality. 2 more points, 20 points to 14. Fresh heart for Widnes, Ross.
Yes, I think so. They needed that 2 points. They've got to keep their score ticking over. And, you know, if they can keep chipping away at Wigan, well, it keeps the enthusiasm and the interest of the players going. And even though you're feeling tired, if you're putting points on, you'll keep going.
And here we see, round the corner, perfectly struck, clears the posts, 2 points. Dennis McHugh there, one of the assistants of Phil Larder at Widnes, England schools coach. On the walkie-talkie, obviously in communication with the bench. Most coaches these days like to sit high up in the stands where they have a better view. Wigan's Hampson then to kick off. Devereux. A nervous time for John Devereux, isn't it?
Well, it was good to see him get that ball in and take him straight on. Like, he went in there full of encouragement and he copped a big hit and he's just got up and shook it off. I think he'll settle down okay, Ray. He'll settle down.
Faimalo. Just 10 minutes gone then in this second half. Half an hour remaining. The vital half hour. Paul Hume had a good game, this Widnes hooker and skipper. He's led from the front. He's battled away. Andy Currier. Hume again. This is better now. Widnes have got men out wide. Oh, thought he was going into touch. The 5th tackle. Goulding. Back again. Well, accidentally offside. And the changeover, of course, so it's the handover. Goulding re-caught the ball, but it ricocheted off a Widnes player, accidental offside, and so the possession turned over to Wigan. Unfortunate there for Goulding.
It was. The Wigan defence was up fairly shallow, so a kick down to the corners would have had to turn them around. It was unfortunate that one of his players have gone through to give him, shield him from the defence, and the ball struck him on the back.
Sampanapa. Player, this man, Sampanapa. He can play in the centre, he's played at stand-off, wing, second row, loose forward, an all-purpose modern rugby league player. Edwards to Bell. Dean Bell likes to come in on these cutting inside runs. And a knock there to Paul Hume. Dermot.
Bolinger set himself for a field goal.
Lynn Gaskell there, the Widnes physiotherapist, just attending to Paul Hume. The drop kick from Botica. Oh, it's a high one, but no, it swirls to the left. But well worth the effort from this man, Botica. And Paul Hume is in some agony. Just seemed to catch the boot just below the rib cage. Good attempt from Botica. Oh, it's nearly there. Just floats across the face of the post.
Yes, there's the tackle there. You can see just a kick out by the player trying to regain his feet, and I'd say he's probably got a few sprig marks up against his rib cage. Hurts a little bit, but once the initial pain goes away, he won't feel it till he wakes up in the morning.
But he will feel it when he wakes up, Ross.
He certainly will. Very painful.
David Hume then. So Richie has not managed to escape the clutches of those cherry and white tacklers since that opening try. Currier. No gaps in this Wigan defence. Very solid, very sound. Wigan coach John Money, of course, an expert on defensive situations, formations and lineups. Robinson. Good tackle by Devereux. Whittaker. And Devereux coming into the game, getting into the action now. Skerritt really takes some pulling down. Well, we thought there may be a question mark over this man's fitness. Certainly doesn't appear to be so. Platt.
Yes, Wigan have just sent one big man up in Skerritt, and then they just turned the ball the other way across the field, and they've got their other big man coming.
Good ball. Oh, now wide. Oh, good run by Bell. Can't get it away. Good cover there by Bobby Goulding. Very good cover. Spruce. And youngster, 18 years old, Steve McCurry, the Cumbrian, looks to be coming on. Courier can't escape the clutches of Andrew Farrar. Very good defensive centre. Courier keen to get on. Referee, reserve referee John Holsworth there, just telling him to wait a minute. Good ball. Good movement by Widnes, but not exactly moving very forward. And a knock on. And Steve McCurry, the youngster from the Hensingham Amateur Club up there in Cumbria, looking to come on. And it's Andy Courier to come off. Andy Courier with disc trouble all week, only passed a fitness test yesterday morning. And also Andrew Farrell coming on for Kelvin Skerritt. To Betts. Oh, he's got pace. And he's got support, but his foot's in touch. And there we see Andrew Farrell, 17 years old.
Yes, you see Dennis Betts here. He makes a good run down the sideline, shows the ball, and it's a good diving tackle from Darren Wright to actually pick him up. He's a big man, Betts, and he takes him stopping it when he's fully mobile.
Tricky situation there for Stuart Spruce. Play on, says referee Russell Smith. He lost the ball, but it went behind him. And what are Widnes doing? Now then, by Marlowe. But Widnes just cannot escape from this 20-metre area. Wigan defensively clamping them down. And Widnes risking one or two passes here. This is what happens. Wigan put the pressure on the side. They hang in there. They make a side make mistakes. Stuart Spruce taking a knock. And a penalty.
Yes, I think that's a good decision by the referee. The last few play the balls, the Wigan players have been laying in behind to play the ball, so the Widnes dummy half can't pick the ball up cleanly. And the referee, I think, has been going to penalise him, and he's let it go until finally he's had to pull him up.
And Widnes, Stuart Spruce there, receiving attention from Lynn Gaskell, one of the many ladies who do such good work in rugby league with the physiotherapy. And Widnes finally crossed that halfway line. Davis, the short ball. Marlowe. Wigan, of course, still leading. 20 points to 14, just to try and goal the difference. But so difficult to get against a side like Wigan. Goulding. And Richard down there.
Yes, right. Just some news on the replacements. The players have just come off the field. They're just being spelled. They're being rested. Nothing wrong with them. Kelvin Skerritt for Wigan, Andy Courier for Widnes. So they might yet be taking part in the game later.
So thankfully nothing wrong with Andy Courier's back. Just a rest. Goulding. The kick. Well placed. So, nearly halfway through this second half. Coming up to the 20th minute. And Widnes have got to keep Wigan down here for a spell. They have to put the pressure on Wigan. They've got to make Wigan make mistakes for the change. Fire. They can't let this man get away. I'm sure the crowd will enjoy a spectacular flourish from that man of fire. There we can see the second half, can't we, Ross? That territorial advantage from Wigan.
Well, it's, this half has been all Wigan's. They've absolutely dominated it. Every time Widnes get down into Wigan's half, it's on a turnover, and it's normally from a kick. We haven't seen any quality ball from them at this stage. And see, here we are again. They've got them down to the fourth tackle and give a penalty away.
A high tackle. Yassine Faimalo. And Bill Clark, definitely high. And of course, the problem of a penalty like that, Ross, it does allow Wigan to pump that ball 30-40 yards back downfield, and suddenly you're under pressure again.
Well, but they're going to have the ball back around the 25 mark. You can see it there. He's definitely going high, and it was a fairly attempted tackle. Sean Everett's having the kick, and they've got 6 tackles to put Widnes back under pressure again.
Sean Edwards. The heat should be beginning now to take its toll of these forwards. The gaps should begin to start appearing. And there we see Andy Courier. Well, we said there's nothing wrong with him. It's possibly the heat. Again, with a wet towel over his head, lying in the shade. Sensible tactics. That just shows you the conditions that these players have got to put up with down here today at Wembley. Kurt Sorensen, another one. Edwards. Clark. Minus his customary scrum cap. The 6th tackle to Edwards. Oh, he puts that kick on Devereux again. He takes it well, but a good tackle. Widnes a little slow to be getting back. Spruce. Anyways, Ross, one could suggest of escaping this vice-like grip of Wigan.
I think they've got to move the ball around a little bit more. They're tending to use up the 6 tackles, getting their breath back, because Wigan have thrown it around and they're tiring themselves out. So when they get the ball, there's nothing left. And they can't score tries by doing that.
And here's Goulding. Going to the corners, good kick again, just puts it back. Mason Robinson, but the significant factor there in that top corner, 61 minutes gone. And still Widnes trailing by 6 points. Wigan, 5 times winners in 5 successive Wembleys. True champions, and none better than this man, Edwards. Dennis Betts moved up to the prop forward position there, and Yassine Faimalo as well. Mr. Smith really going at them. Get back, he says. Wigan ball. Robinson.
Yes, Widnes have really got to use their defence up in this set of 6 tackles. They've got to force Wigan into an error so they can get the ball inside their territory and put a bit of pressure back onto Wigan.
Bell. Good ball to Betts. At last, he breaks loose, gets it back now to Bell again. And Martin Offire's hovering around there. Edwards. Clark, good dummy. Oh, gets a beautiful pass away. And Farrell, the 17-year-old, has he put a foot in touch? He has. Martin Ofire tries to get away. He doesn't do so. Not had a chance to unleash his pace this afternoon.
Yes, Phil Clark has a good run here, and just before he hits the ground, he releases the ball, and Farrell gets the ball, heads down the sideline, and he just gets ankle tapped here by Devereux. The ball goes over the head to Ofire, but the linesman has his flag up, and so the scrum goes down.
Myers. Widnes really needs someone to go 60, 70 yards to take this Wigan defence on. They can't do it at the moment, but the Widnes fans roaring them on behind them now. McCurry. Good play by this youngster. Awful lot of tackles there. It shows how even the game has been. 97 to 105. Goulding. Again, still playing down that corner. Good kick. 50 yards by Goulding. 15 minutes remaining now. 20 points to 14 for Wigan.
As in this last set of 6 lots of tackles, Ray, we've seen Wigan take it from their line down onto the Widnes line, and then the reverse has happened. In 6 tackles, Widnes take it right back to the Wigan line. It's a very enthralling game of rugby league.
It's almost like a chess match, Ross, isn't it?
Well, the side that makes the mistakes is the side that's going to be punished, and we saw that in the first half. Widnes made 2 errors and Wigan scored the tries, and Wigan seemed to be playing football, that's no mistakes in it, and due to that they're in front.
Edwards to Bell. Partiker gets the high ball to a fire. He's got some space. Oh, can he take good? Never on. Has to kick. Keeps playing. Good ball by Farah. Oh, he gets it now to Farah. Back inside to a fire. This is good rugby. Well, he's looking for Hampson. Is he going to take himself on? Oh, wonderful tackle.
That was a good tackle.
Wonderful tackle, but the touch judge is on. An off-the-ball incident. Looks to be an off-the-ball incident against Martin Offiah. He shot down the centre. Of course, referee Russell Smith was following the play. He had to keep with Clark. And Offiah obviously fouled. And who is the culprit? It looks to be Richiers. Referee Smith wants everybody away. And he's sent off. Well, Richiers dramatically here the incident.
Oh, yes. It's a mean little elbow there, and I think he deserves to be sent off. He came in very late on Offiah, and it's definitely a deliberate use of the elbow, and I don't think the referee had any other decision to make on that one.
Well, he's off. The red card. That's a disaster there for Richiers. He has to take that lonely trail down to the tunnel. Cannot sit on the bench.
Yes, here it is again now. Offiah's already released the ball. There's comes in, uses the elbow just as Martin is going to run past him.
Yes, there it is. The elbow hits Offiah at the side of the head. No problem.
The sad thing about that piece of football, Ray, is that what was happening on the field was brilliant. The ball had gone from one end of the field. The cover defence was all over the place, and we saw a great tackle from David Myers, and you know, an incident like that just spoils the game.
Martin Offiah back on his feet. Well, he has a date with Rory Underwood and Andy Harriman in a sprint race at Wigan on Monday. And John Money there now passing instructions round, and Phil Larder really must be a worried man now. I'm sure John Money is saying, look, let's use that extra man advantage. But Partiker, first of all, going to take the shot at goal. Then attempting for a 5th goal from 6 attempts. Cheers, of course, not the first man to be sent off here at Wembley. Sid Hines, the Leeds player, back in '71, took the same sad path. So, Botica, not one of his better attempts. Widnes then, down to 12 men, trailing by 20 points to 14. And just 11 minutes remaining, and I think a little tiredness there from Paul Hume, bending down, and brother David says, don't worry, kid. He's given his best. And problems in the pack.
Yes, here it is. It's a very simple mistake. It's a sign of tiredness. He's taken his eye off the ball, and when he went to pick it up, the ball just lost his grip. And he's doubled the mistake up by giving a bit of lip to the referee.
Well, it looks to be back chat from Bobby Goulding. He looks a little quizzical at referee Mr. Smith. But Mr. Smith and Goulding beginning to lose his temper. No need for this. Young player, a fine player, needs to keep cool. But these 2 points, of course, would take Wigan, if Botica was successful, out to an 8-point difference. And that really probably would be too big a struggle. Botica then, just to the right of the post, 18 metres out. Oh, he's hit the post! Hit the post well from Botica. Unusual for him, and let off the Widnes. So can this 12-man Widnes fight back? Myers. He'll be annoyed at that, will Botica? 9 minutes remaining.
Yes, here it is now. It's a very simple kick for Botica. He's been putting those over in his sleep. But I think Widnes were lucky that he tried to eventuate from it.
And the crowd beginning to get behind the underdogs Widnes. Wigan were 5-1 on with the bookmakers to win this trophy. O'Neill. Long, strong kick by Julian O'Neill, the Brisbane Broncos lad. He'll be used to playing in temperatures like this. Hampson. Botica. Farah. Wigan, I think, trying to launch this man the fire to wrap this game up. 20 points to 14, 8 points remaining. Bell. That's a ooh. Dennis Betts couldn't take the ball, little low.
Yes, here it is. It's a nice short ball from Bill Clark. Dennis Betts just takes his eye off it. Well, I think at this stage, John Maney's instructions down to the Wigan players has been to move that ball around. Widnes look tired, they're a man short, so they need to move them all over the field. And we just saw in that set of 6, the ball crossed the field on 3 occasions.
We've really got to compliment, I think, this Widnes side for their defensive qualities in this second half. Down for 12 men, still hanging in here, still trying to take the game back to Wigan. Gavin, 15-stone wingman, can't escape the clutches. Davis. One magical sidestep needed from him. Davis again from the acting half-back. Again another good kick. So, Jonathan Davis puts the pressure back on Wigan, but of course Wigan have the points in hand, 20 points to 14. 6 minutes left. And we can just see that territorial advantage, can't we, Ross? You know, you can't win games like that, can you?
Yeah, the kicking game of Widnes has been faultless. They've been putting the ball out right in the corners, but they haven't had the ability to hold Wigan down inside their own territory, and because of that, all the game's been played, especially the second half, down inside the Widnes goal line.
And a penalty, another penalty against Bobby Goulding. Stamping, according to Mr. Smith, on Sean Edwards.
Yes, here it is here. He probably even goes a little bit high in his tackle. You see him rubbing the head of Sean Edwards, and as he gets up, he just makes sure that his foot comes in contact with Edwards' head. Not necessary, and he's also once again put his team under pressure.
Betts. Still Widnes with 12 men. Tackling for dear lives. Hanaper. Good tackle there by the half-back pairing, Davis and Goulding. 5 minutes left. Just 6 points difference, 20-14 to Wigan. Good tackle. He's taken a knock.
Yes, I think there was a clash of heads there, and Bobby Goulding, I think, has caught a forehead right in the middle of his nose.
Edwards to Hampson. Myers. Good run needed by David Myers. And there, I think, is the problem for Paul Hume. The Wigan players not straight, have to play the ball. One has to be behind the other. But it needs a good kick from Davis. Three minutes remaining. Widnes must find 6 points from somewhere to gain a draw. Harvey Howard. Last ounce of energy needed.
Yes, a little bit of Jonathan Davies magic is needed at this stage for Widnes.
Six points needed then. The try, the conversion and the replay at Old Trafford a week on Wednesday. Can Widnes do it? Minutes ticking away here now. On the attack, Devereux. David Hume, good switch by Marlowe. Desperation here from Widnes. They've got to keep this ball moving. The fifth tackle. Goulding again, puts it to the corners. Makes a fire stretch, but again it will be Wigan's head and ball from this scrum. As Kelvin Skerritt coming on for Andy Platt. Once again, Coach John Money using these prop substitutes well. And Kelvin Skerritt, the scorer of that 11th minute try for international colleague Andy Platt. The forwards having a breather. Just 2 minutes remaining. Widnes desperate to get hold of this ball, desperate to keep Wigan down here. But Wigan, the vital 6 points difference. Dean Bell, the skipper, he knows that. He'll hold on to this ball. Oh, a good ball there to Robinson. Cuts inside. He's got support. Oh, and this is unnecessary here. silly. No need for these players to rush in here. It was a high tackle initially. A high tackle on Jason Robinson. Once again he was collared. Some bad blood creeping into this final here at the end. And David Hume, the experienced forward, settling things down. There is Robinson. He cuts inside.
Yes, it's a send-off offence. I think it's a deliberate stiff arm to Robinson's head. The young winger, 18 years of age, has made a good run, and Bobby Goulding, he's been fired up all afternoon, and he's been costing Widnes a lot of yardage and a lot of ball, and I think that was a deliberate stiff arm tackle, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is sent from the field.
Well, certainly Mr. Smith's had a hectic afternoon. He's possibly reminding Goulding that one of his colleagues, Richie Ayres, has already been dismissed, and possibly reminding Goulding that there's not long to go.
Yes, I think he's a very lucky boy not to be sent off from that one. I'd say the fact that Richie Ayres has already been sent off, that the referee has given him the benefit of the doubt, but as you can see from that slow motion there, it's a send-off offence, and a serious one.
Into stoppage time, and Bobby Goulding fired up, as we said, in this last 10-15 minutes. Widnes with 12 men up against it. Wigan, the cup holders, the champions, going for the Grand Slam of all 5 trophies in a season. And youngster there, number 15, Andrew Farrell. Phil Clark taking his time, had a knock. Betts. Wouldn't surprise me if Wigan had another attempt at a drop goal. Dean Bell. Oh, superb run by Dean Bell. Just tackled inches short. The knock on, but what a run by the skipper. Dean Bell. Loose forward. The Kiwi.
Yes, here he is. He's gone through the clutches of Hume and just loses his balance just before he gets to the fullback, but it's a good tackle by Spruce to bring him down short.
And the man of the match, Dean Bell, the Lance Todd Trophy winner. Devereux. Seconds ticking away here now. Desperation for Widnes. 20 points to 14 they trail. Richie Ayres off the field, dismissed for the off-the-ball tackle on Martin Offiah. And a last gasp try needed from the men from Norton Park. Wigan tackling as if they know that the cup is being put out there for them. The kick and the chase here, Hampson's there, Robinson's with him. Can't beat Spruce, but Robinson's on hand. Two minutes of injury time. Botica to Farah with Devereux. Oh, Farah going down the middle. Can't quite get the fire launched. But Wigan still keen to get another try. Edwards runs into the clutches of Jonathan Davis. Not often Sean Edwards gets himself mixed up in midfield. But this Widnes cover with 12 men holding the fire. Hampson tries to drop. No. Too low altogether by Steve Hampson. And Martin Offiah looks to be either cramp or a hamstring. Well, yes, it looks to be cramp. He's done a lot of running, but hasn't picked up a try. Devereux, can he pull off one last gasp try? Widnes, they've got to move this ball. They trail by 6 points. They need a try and a conversion. The kick, Courier, chasing, but it's going to go dead. It's too long. Well attempted there by Bobby Goulding. Good thinking there. I think he's saying, I had to do it. We had to try something desperate. Joe Lydon wanted to get back into the action, possibly for Martin Offiah. Lydon coming on. Martin Offiah trailing that left leg. Cramp there. Scarrett. What good driving, forceful game this number 8 has had. Kelvin Scarrett. Martin Dermott. And Martin Offiah. Bell again. Time and time again, this Kiwi skipper's gone down the middle, hasn't he?
Yes, he certainly led by example all the way, and he's a worthy winner of the Lance Todd. He's done it all year, and it's good to see that he carried on with today's game.
And there's the hooter. Sam Panaper and the Wigan crowd throw their hands in the air. And that man, Dean Bell, the skipper, inspiration to his side, as was this man Paul Hume, but things didn't go well for him. 20 points to 14 for Wigan, and Dean Bell, the first Kiwi to win the Lance Todd since Wigan's own Cess Mountford way back in 1951. And Jonathan Davis, Widnes looking to a flash of inspiration from the gifted Welsh standoff. It didn't come. Bobby Goulding, the fiery Goulding. Congratulations all round. Only 6 points the difference, but there's a big difference between winners and losers at Wembley, Ross, isn't there?
There certainly is. Wigan played the game at a steady pace right from the start. Even though they were down 6-0 at the early stages, they just stuck to their game plan and they didn't alter. But as the game progressed, you could see Widnes stopped throwing the ball around and they started going one out, and they tried to beat man for man instead of using the ball. And due to this, I think they wore themselves out. They got tired, and Wigan finished well on top.
Andy Courier commiserating with John Devereux and Jonathan Davis. Possibly that drop ball of John Devereux proving the vital difference. Stuart Spruce, a lot of hard work for him at fullback. They certainly will need a lot of water, these players. Julian O'Neill, the Brisbane Broncos lad, and John Mooney, Wigan's most successful coach. His 4th successive cup win, his 4th championship win. Congratulations from Phil Larder. The best of friends. They fought out a hard tactical battle here. I don't think either coach could ask more of their players. The two Kiwis, they seem happy enough. They've enjoyed it, especially the Kurt Sorensen on the left, possibly bowing out of the big occasion. And John Devereux, the Welshman, in tears. And Dennis Betts being helped off by Andy Platt. Dean Bell saying there's not much wrong with you, but there must be for Dennis Betts to come off. Obviously, problem with the ankle or the calf, and Paul Hume possibly reflecting on the match, the Widnes skipper. What could have been, what might have been. But these Wigan players are true champions. One of the truly great sides of world rugby. Botica. Dennis Betts certainly in pain. And Widnes just waiting for Wigan skipper Dean Bell, lifting this trophy for the second time as skipper. The third Kiwi at Central Park to lift the trophy. Cess Mountford, Graham West in the past. An inspiration to his team, this New Zealand loose forward. The man of the match. He couldn't be any happier. And that trophy that cost £60. The 1993 Silk Cut Challenge Cup, presented by the Earl of Derby. A cheque for £36,000 to Wigan and the 25,000 supporters who've travelled from that Lancashire town, delighted as ever. Stevie Hampson, Martin Dermott, the tricky, lively hooker. Hampson, about whom there was such doubt this week with a calf strain. Andrew Farrell, Sean Edwards, his 7th winners' medal. Martin Afire and Sam Paniper, the utility back, picked up a try as well. Andrew Farrell, he hugs it. It may only be worth £60, but it means a lot to these players. Clapton Skerritt, so much hard work. Now, the 6th successive Silk Cut Challenge Cup, and now going for the Grand Slam, possibly in a fortnight's time, with the Premiership final at Old Trafford.